Welcome, viewers, both present and future. My name is David L. Weaver, and along with Bill Geltz, we make up the XP Guild. David's Doodles is now on episode 4, and we'll be live every Tuesday. So check out our schedule below for updates, changes, or even additional shows that may or may not be a series. David's Doodles is presently centered around Dungeondraft, our world setting of Umberhaven, and one particular area within said setting. This area came about by players within our second run through of our adventure module called the Wilhelm Train Heist. We are currently working on finishing it up and we'll have it out to the public within the near future. As soon as we do, we'll let everyone know. The area that I'm working on is known as Lover's Bridge and Village. You can see how it all came about within our second run-through / video of said adventure module. As soon as we get it finished being edited and whatnot, you can check it out over on our YouTube channel by the same name, the XP Guild. We also have Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Patreon by the same name, and you can check out those links somewhere below here. Any kind of support would be greatly appreciated. So go like, follow, subscribe, ring the bell, join, so on and so forth. You know how all that works. So as far as Dungeondraft, the program is concerned, I will be using. We are not affiliated or sponsored by them in any shape and or form. For me, I just love the program because A, it's just stupid, simple, and easy to use, as well as it creates great looking maps for your gaming experiences on all levels. With that, tonight we are going to finish up the tax/feed store for all the farmers that live just south of the bridge. Then, if we have time, I will expand the road for future places within the village. Next Tuesday is going to be episode 5 of this series. And I will be building a new area of the village. So, my thought is, I will be putting up a poll on our Facebook and Twitter page, either after this show or sometime tomorrow. I will roughly have about 2 to 3 options to choose from, and it will be up until next Monday. So go vote, and the one with the most likes will be my next build. So let us begin, shall we? So this is the second story of the tax/feed store for those that haven't seen the other past videos. I will show you basically what the ground floor looks like. So this is the ground floor of the tax/feed store, and if we zoom out, we can go to the entire map, which is right here is the Lover's Bridge, which goes over the Wilhelm train track. And like I was saying, if we have time, I'm going to expand this out and even expand the area in which the village is located. So in the meantime, let's go ahead and finish up the second story. So last, pretty much, we were putting in furniture and deciding on where rooms and the like we're going to be at. So we got pretty much, as you go up the stairs, it comes up to the second story, and right here is the kitchen, the main dining room. I was thinking last time about making this a storage, but then I got to thinking, how are you going to get to the attic floor? Which a lot of my buildings have attic floor to it because, hey, you know, storage, extra rooms, whatever you'd like to put up there. So I'm going to make this a little set of stairway or staircase that goes up going to be different from this one, so you'll see how I do that. And these, I figured I'm going to divide this in half and make these 2 separate rooms all together. So let's go ahead and lay our main part down. So when you click on design, once again, you got building tools, wall tool, portal tools, and pretty much these 3 are the main ones we're going to be working with. As we actually put a roof on this building, I'll go ahead and get into the roof tool when we do. So, which is something new. They added, I think, 2 expansions ago, or 2 updates. So anyway, let's go ahead and do a wall. So since it's all wood, I'm gonna go ahead and put it in snap. That way it snaps to where the main area is. And we'll do it under, we won't do any shadows. We'll just lay this wall right in between, and there we go. And let's go ahead, so this has got the double door. So let's go ahead and do double doors here. Maybe, yeah. Or actually, let's do single doors this time around, because we haven't done those yet. So usually, once again, I turn off snap so I can get a more better anywhere I can put it, really. And if you notice, there's the metal door frame, I guess you would call it. I like to align it with the actual wall itself. And as you can see, bam. See how it does? And then, now, if you go over here, it doesn't do it. See, it does another weird looking door. So I want 2 double doors that, or 2 doors that are single doors, but are dividing. Yeah, you'll see. So we'll go ahead and do this one, and bam, there it is. There's our 2 rooms with 2 doors, single doors. Now this one, like I said, we're going to do this as a stairwell. So let's go ahead and maybe do a double door and do that right in between there. Now let's go, so we got all that going on. Go ahead and, since we're here, let's go ahead and put in our windows. So the windows I chose for this place is kind of a new thing they added. Once again, a lot of this stuff I'm showing you is new. So, but there will be some old stuff as well. So these style windows, all this pretty much right past this door here, or well, actually minus this one, and these 3, they kind of, I don't know how they do it now, because they don't really do it in alphabetical orders. So, but yeah, pretty much this one, and majority of this stuff down here is like brand spanking new. So we're going to do the shuttered door windows, and we'll stick one, let's do one like right here, and maybe, yeah, we'll just do 2 on each side. There we go. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and add staircase. Objects. Now when you click on objects, for those that haven't seen the past videos, you'll have 3 different categories, which is tags, which is all this right here, this worlds of different categories and the like. And then you're going to come over here and actually select which category. And if you look to the right where all your different items are at, so if I click on one, so crafts and trades, you'll see it change. But then it changes to all the different stuff that would fit for their area. And notice they highlighted all the different little tags that would fit into crafts and trades. Majority of the time, I like to leave it just blank. That way I can choose what I want to, or go through the different little things. Because if you go through, so like click on fire, runs everything up to fire, or dining, so on and so forth. So, but if you click on all, once again, it shows you all of the stuff. And now I am planning on just using this particular program in the vanilla version for this series, and then showing you little tricks and trades, or tricks and tips that I use when I play around with the vanilla version. Now, if you feel that you want to expand your list or go into like modern or even futuristic stuff, there's a little button up here called assets. basically what assets are. These things, everything you pretty much see in this program are assets. Walls, floors, you name it, it's there. So assets allows you to basically do two things. You can either draw it yourself and then add it to this program, which in the future I plan on doing, which when I do, I will show you everyone how to do that and how to go about doing that. Or if you're not artistically inclined or just feel that, you just don't have time to sit down and draw a bunch of stuff, add to the program. There are tons of artists out there that has done worlds of stuff, both for free and for, I'd say, a reasonable amount of money. I mean, it's not too much. I mean, you like anything, you can go overboard easily with that concept. So you just kind of have to pick and choose. You can also, if you check out our first video or my first video. All right, so then if you click on use, this is what's also cool. Say you want to reuse this furniture, especially since we're building a village and I want to use a lot of this furniture for another building. Then you can click on used, and that's all the stuff you have used for this build, which I absolutely love. All right, so let's go back to tags, and we are going to pretty much put in a bed or beds. So, and this is another cool thing that falls into this category, is all this stuff that you see. Notice this in this kind of a dingy red tone. So this is custom colors. Certain objects you can change the color on if you feel like it. So this is a fairly nice house, fairly nice people. So let's go ahead and give them white sheet. So notice all that changed. And say there's not a color in this scheme that you feel that you want to do something different or whatnot. So you come over here and now you can change your color scheme however you want it to be. Black sheets. And then you just push accept. Alright, so let's go ahead and do decent sized bed. Now that is huge, because usually what I like to do is every little square here is 5 feet. So let's go ahead and make this bed. So how you scale it down, you pretty much push Alt and use your mouse wheel to do large scale jumps, basically. Now if you want to do a finer jump, then see, now notice it says scale over here. See, it'll say 0.8. So watch when I use the scroll wheel, it jumps to 9, 1 point, blah blah, so on and so forth. So let's do, I don't know, let's do about 8, I guess. Or let's do somewhere in between 8 and 9. So I want to do it pretty much right in between. So let's scale it down to maybe like 8.5 or something. So if you come over here, you can adjust it. So now it's 8. Well, it's 0.85. So now my bed is still pretty good size, but being what it is, farmer's wife, the farmer, both, whoever's the couple that lives there, or maybe it's a single person. But we did say family, so we're going to do it as a family unit. So there's the master suite, I guess you would call it, or the master bedroom. So let's go ahead and maybe do maybe they have teenagers, or who knows, something that we could possibly do in the future. Or Bill may do a Bill's builds of the actual NPCs themselves here within the tax/feed store. I'll have to hit him up about that. So let's go ahead and figure out how big these beds will be. So I am thinking a little bit bigger than that. Let's go back to 8.5. Let's do that as a standard. So let's go ahead and maybe do each one underneath the window. So usually the way I like to line these things up, for me, it's a personal preference for anybody, but I usually align it with the actual metal window frames, or I call them metal window frames. They could be stone. And line it up with the wall itself. And there you go. Now there's 2 beds. So let's go ahead and maybe put in Room's not terribly big, but let's go ahead and maybe put in a chest or something. Let's see here. Should we do a storage? Not for certain. We want to do... We also could do like a painting. Okay, so another thing is what I like to do. So I like to take the picture frames and turn them into mirrors. So let's go ahead and... Okay, storage. So maybe... Yeah, let's use this wardrobe. Maybe this room has one. That's about good size. Now for this room, we'll go ahead and do 2 like foot locker like chests. We'll go with this. And what I usually like to do with these is I'll line it to the edge of the bed and just put it at the end, like aka foot lockers. So notice I didn't quite put it on the right up against the wall. You can if you want to. How you go about, there's 2 ways of doing that. You can either start all over again, which you just basically push undo, and now you've got a fresh start, and you just push it down. But say you're not going to be doing that, so let's go ahead and go over to the little arrow key, which is select, and you can just simply move it around. And that's the way you go about doing that. So now here's the cool thing about this program is that if you push previous tools, it goes back exactly where you left off at. Go into zoom out here. And that's another way you zoom out is control with the mouse wheel. All right, so we got this room. So like I said before, we're going to go ahead and do a mirror in his place. So I usually select painting, and I usually go with a light blue color. Go a little mirror here. Maybe this person also, or these rooms also has a little mirror by the door to get ready by. Then we'll go ahead and put some stuff on top of the well, it's a wardrobe, so let's go ahead and not put it that high. Or we could make it a dresser, but let's go ahead and make it a wardrobe. So we're going to move this around, and then you just click it, and then you drag it around. And voila. Let's go ahead and put it on the other side of the room near the wardrobe itself. We'll move the wardrobe down a little bit as well. All right, so there we go. So next, we're going to go ahead and... Oh, now see, we got this little guy going over here, so we're going to select and delete. There we go. So next, we're going to go ahead and let's go ahead and add that staircase. Objects. Stairs. Now you got a whole slew of stuff you can choose from. So we're going to just do some simple stairs since it's going to the attic. Like these. Huge once again. Take up the entire space. So we're going to shrink them down. Actually, let's see. We'll go ahead and maybe do something like that. There we go. And now we got it upstairs, or away upstairs. So we'll just assume that these open outward. And this little area, what I like to do is I put a... you'll see when I get upstairs. It's pretty much the same thing I did it here. Alright, so I think we've got our second story finished. So let's move on to the attic. So once again, we're going to do layers. So how you do layers is you go over here to this little area right here, and you click on there, and there's different settings, and then you go to level settings, not layers, but level settings, sorry. And then we just simply create. And then our new level is third, or let's go attic. And so we'll go ahead and accept that, and it will jump us immediately to the attic space. And notice there's nothing here. It's a blank. So how do you see the lower levels? Click on compare level, and immediately it drops you to the second level. Now this is the cool thing when you get into multiple levels, is that you can either do second story, which we'll absolutely need, but you can also go to the ground and you can see the entire thing, or depending on what level you're at. So we're going to go to second story. We're going to kind of bring that in like we did when we created the second story. Lower that. And now we can actually see kind of what we're doing. So once again, building tool. We're going to go ahead and put a floor in this. Maybe this floor, what do you think? Maybe a little wood damage. Nah, it's going to be a nice floor. Maybe there is some wood damage. We'll go ahead and have to play around with that idea. So let's go ahead and we're going to do it a little bit differently. We're going to do snap like always, but now we're going to do edge points instead of doing giant swaths of this. So you can just click around. And bam, there's your floor. Now let's go ahead and add this little section in over here. The way I like to do it is you click on that, and then you go ahead, and now with your edge points, you can actually, if I remember right, I'm not for certain, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but you can get it right specifically. Go just about like that. And now notice the screen, it's just going to repeat itself, but if you hold down Alt, and now you have the little blue space, click on that. That little floor space is now gone. And now when I click the compared levels off, you can see now it's gone. Okay, now the fun part. I got my attic floor, I got my attic itself. So let's go ahead and bring some stuff up from below, I guess. Well, first of all, let's go ahead and figure out. So what I like to do is I like to do pillars in an attic. That way it's the rafters and holds everything up, the roof itself. So, but we also need to bring up our little stove pipe, because right now we're pretty much choking out the kitchen. So, and also these other rooms, well, thought about a little stove. Maybe we could possibly add one in each of the little rooms. Definitely right here, and we'll just go ahead, instead of centering the bed, we'll move the bed over, and then we'll put a little stove near one of the windows, or may change the windows altogether. Like we'll put a window maybe over here or something. Well, anyway, let's go ahead and go to objects. And we will go to, let's see, fixtures, chimney, different forms to choose from. So I usually like to do one of the round pipes to go through the attic, and then do this one when you get up. Well, you can, it's a variety that you can choose from, really. I mean, if you want to just do round and go straight up, or square and go straight up, it's however you would like to do it. Or you can do something like that even. So let's just do a simple one, shall we? Let's just do a round pipe. Usually I like to match it with the stove itself. So hover over there, and that's a good spot. I'm gonna go upstairs, compare levels, push OK, and there's our first object on that floor, our stovepipe. A little close to the wall. Let's go ahead and maybe rotate that stove. So let's go ahead, and the way you do that, because notice it's got a lighting effect. So I'll go ahead and highlight the entire thing, and then just rotate it just a little bit. Maybe bring it out a little bit into the room itself. That way that stovepipe is not directly up against that wall. And then you go previous tool and see you still got that stovepipe. Now the stovepipe is definitely not up against that wall. Voila. Alright, so there's our attic with the stovepipe. Alright, so next we're going to go ahead and do pillars. And usually when I do these, I used to like to do the square ones, and I'll snap it into place. Let's do a little bit bigger than what we got here. So let's zoom in. 8.5, 9. 9's good. So let's go ahead and figure out where we want our pillars at. I am thinking, so you come up this way. Maybe they start, we'll do them along this wall here. We'll do one there, and one there. And then we'll do the same over on this wall too. And there's those, and then we'll do one here, and maybe one, or we could do, actually, let's do that. Let's do here, and then here. And there's our attic. Now, once again, with attic, you can put anything or everything you can possibly imagine in an attic, including beds and the like. So let's go ahead and go back down the second story real quick and go ahead and switch some things around. So we're going to undo snap again. We're going to move our bed over against this wall, leave our mirror here, and go ahead and maybe do a smaller version of this particular stove. So we'll copy that, bring that down over here, and paste. Rotate it around, and now we're going to shrink it. So we don't want it too big. We'll put this stove, rotate it even more. Well, yeah. Actually, let's go ahead and okay, so do something like that maybe. Or we can put it on the other side of the room. Let's go ahead and put it on the other side of the room. How about move that bed over here. Highlight and move this over here. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Wasn't quite feeling the vibe on that side. All right, and then we're going to copy and paste, and because we like the size of that. Usually what I like to do with the flames, as you notice, they're all upside down in weird angles. I'll take that flame and rotate it. You can leave it as is. It doesn't really matter too much. But yeah. So there we go. Now each room has a flame. And a way to see. And the like. So we'll go ahead and add some wood. Go ahead and grab it right about here. Grab a smidgen of it. Copy. Paste. Go ahead and maybe add it right there. Copy it again. Paste. Rotate it. Get it on this side. Alright. Now we need to add our stovepipes. Our copy. Come down here. Okay. Paste. Right about. Let's go ahead and rotate that around a little bit. Okay. Paste again. Voila. There's your stove pipes. So that one's up a little higher, but yeah, that's totally fine. Okay, so we got that going on. So next, I think we're going to go ahead and do the roof real quick. There's not too much we want to add else. I mean, we could go ahead and fill out all of the details, but we're just going to kind of leave it open for now. So let's go ahead and get the roof done. So once again, we're going to add another level settings. So we got ground, second story, attic. So create, and we'll call this roof. Accept. And we'll pair that to the attic. Now here's the neat thing about the roofs. So they've added this. See, notice when you just bam, they've added this roof option. So you have, and I'll show you all the different roofs. So you got gable, which basically looks like, we'll go ahead and snap it into place. And there's the flat clay, then you got round slate, and then you got thatch. We're going to be using thatch for this roof, so let's go ahead and do that. Here's what hip looks like, and then you have the little dormers. Actually, I could have left the hip, so let's go ahead and let's redo that. So here's the hip, and then you add your dormers. And each one is specific to that thing. So if I remember right, let's see here. Gable. And then you do your dormer. Yeah. Always get mixed up on which direction these things go in. But you can come over here and rotate if I remember right. Yep. And then you can add however you'd like to do it. Usually I do it like that. And then you can actually just, you know, make them bigger, whatever, because it's pretty much you're adding a level, a window, you know, that kind of stuff. So we'll undo. And then we'll go previous, and we'll go ahead and choose thatch. We'll do gable, because we're going to make it where it has an overhang. So this area is going to be pretty much, let's go ahead and see what this looks like. Then we may change it after that. Okay. Okay, let's see here. We can manually do it. So I think we're going to manually do it and see what that comes out to be like. So how you do it manually, pretty much you got to click on the spot, and then you just, okay, it's doing wonky stuff. Sorry. So click on the spot, and then you figure out where you want it at. Okay, so maybe we'll make it a little bit wider and see what happens. It's all about playing with this and figuring out what goes with what. Oh yeah, that's a little bit too wide. I could count the squares, but also, when you do roofs, something I forgot to tell you, you can also do the different sun directions and shade contrast. And that gets off into all kinds of neat stuff. But I usually, like I said, I turn off shade. And it's getting there. Let's do 4.5. Perfect. And there's our roof. Now let's go ahead and drop down one and go ahead and grab our little smokestacks. Copy. Go back to roof comparison. Okay. Paste. Oh, got it on snap again. Hover over that. Paste again. Paste again. There we go. Now you're probably wondering, man, that's huge on that side. So what we can do is we can do braces all the way around this roof. So how I like to do that, turn this off. There we go. So I'll come over here, and once again we'll play with the pillars. Pillars already selected, and I'll choose, well, maybe we'll want it like rustic. So what I like to do is I like to use, if you go to ship, then you've got all these different masts. So usually I like to choose like one of the masts and use that as my base. I'll make it a little bit bigger. So that's almost 2 feet. Or that is 2 feet. So yeah, it's a pretty good size. But to hold up a roof, why not? Click here, go up, compare. Ground. For over there, and bam. Go up one more. And then let's see here. Under. Okay, we need to compare second story. And there we go. Now if you want to go ahead and, yeah, so you can't see it, so. So now, when you look at your object or your building, you'll see this giant post that just adds, you know, a different level of awesomeness is what I like to call it. So now I got my ground floor, and now I want to kind of compare what the roof looks like compared to everything else. So go ahead and once again compare, and then you already got roof selected. So this roof actually sticks out into the road itself, so that I'm not a big fan of. So let's go ahead and change that real quick, and the post may actually change too. So once again, you can select. Let's go ahead and compare the attic though, so we see what we're doing, and then you can shrink that puppy and move it around. I'm going to move it back a bit, probably right there actually. Shrink it down just a little bit more. And there we go. And there we go. So the post, I think I'm fine with that. I mean, we can move it over a little bit if we really wanted to. So move it on this edge here. Or actually, we'll move it in between here. You pretty much know where it's at, so don't have to do too much to it. So there we go. Right to the roof. That's what the roof looks like. So it's just hanging over a little bit of the road. So there is our first building within Lovers Bridge, and Village. So next time, once again, like I said, episode 5 is I'm going to set up a poll, and you can go vote on which building or area that I will be building next. So thank you for tuning in. It has been a fun moment in time, and hope you can check us out on all our different channels and the like. We will be doing another one-shot here soon. So far, our name for it is The Chase. We're not going to be too specific on it as far as details right now. We will be posting them in Facebook and the like, and you are interested in possibly participating, definitely when we put it up, it'll be an interest post or looking for players. So definitely put down that you're interested in doing such things, and we will be doing it live. And for all of those that participate within the one shot, when we finish the product, you'll get a free copy. So there's that. So thank you for joining me at Dave's Doodle, or David's Doodles, on the XP Guild. Thank you, Red King GM, for following us this time around, and look forward to seeing what y'all vote on for episode 5 next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Time.